All right, so we're going to get into some story time here. This is really interesting stuff. This is dealing with the Polar R square. These are the live accounts. I just want to talk about how this is doing and the importance of leaving your trading systems alone and try not to mess with stuff. Mechanical trading systems, they run on their own, and you need to let the signals finish out without any human intervention. I just want to highlight a couple of things here. These are two trades today that I just thought were absolutely incredible. The first one here was gold. Now, gold had been long for a couple of days. It was drifting, 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 drifting. Then it just pops right up here. And then we were able to capture this with the trailing stop, and then it just collapses again. So I thought that was remarkable. But if you're looking at a trade and it's just kind of drifting, 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 you might lose patience with it, or you might try to mess things up. But just by leaving it alone and letting the system run, we were able to capture that. So I thought that was pretty incredible, that the trailing stops are doing their jobs. And yeah, so that's just what's going on there. Now, this is another one here. This was an oil trade. This was absolutely crazy. This one goes short here a couple of days ago, and it just was running against us the whole time. And so we had a bunch of trades in between here that were just slowly collecting gains on different symbols. But this particular symbol was being very stubborn. It came back here, and then it was just kind of kept going up. And then last night we had this big, big run up here, right? Now, this line up here, this is the stop up here. So you want to talk about crazy here. This signal was short here for 2 days. We came within 7 ticks of the stop here. So, one of the things that I do here is I don't like to mess or adjust anything. And that is really hard. I don't, when you have a trading plan, most people like to move the stops around, change the targets, get out early, whatever. I don't like to do any of that. I just like to leave it alone. And so this thing goes 7 ticks from the top here, and then it reverses and just collapses all the way down into the close today. It almost went back into a profit here at the close, but we ended up with just a very tiny loss on this. But it was just crazy because even on the way down here, um, you know, going into the last hour here, it was like, if you're thinking about this rationally, you're like, wow, it's already made back a lot. Maybe I should, you know, cover this or take a profit. And then in the last like 15 minutes, this thing just completely collapses here. And so I think a lot of people might have been like, oh, maybe I should just put a target on this or capture something or do. So I just said, look, man, it is what it is. We trust the system, and that's what it is. And so I just left this thing alone, and it came all the way back. I just thought that was incredible. And we ended up the day net positive 200 with all this chaos that was going on. There was just a lot of chaos. So it was an interesting day, just a day of high adventure, high action, high excitement, but we still ended up positive. So I think that's a good sign that the system is robust and it does respond. And the other thing is too, when you have a system, it seems sometimes as if it like it looks one way in the middle of the night and in the morning, and sometimes these things turn at the last second. Like you can't tell what's going to happen. And so this is why it's important just to trust in the system that you have. And you just can't try to outthink this. You cannot outthink it. You have to leave it alone, let it do its job. So I just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was pretty incredible, that the way that these two trades came out last night. But these are just two trades in the context of many. We've had many trades going on around this, but these two trades was just this was just incredible, the way that this worked out today. But good sign, and it's showing the robustness of this system, that they are resolving, even if it takes sometimes to the very last second. They are resolving and breaking in the correct direction.